12th, 2026 workshop meeting. If you all rise and please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Supervisor Perdicone,
Here.
Councilwoman Cunningham. Here. Councilmember Malone,
Present.
Councilmember Weiner,
Here.
Attorney for the town.
Here. I'm going to drop down the proclamations. We are going to, there are eight graduates from Bishop Kearney High School, the hockey, and 8 of them are going to the Olympics. So we are going to have a proclamation. 5 of them will be playing for the U.S., and then the 3 of them are playing internationally somewhere else, I'm not sure. So Maria's been in touch. We're going to try to get a representative here at least for Tuesday evening, and we'll do a proclamation for them. But 8 graduates from Bishop Kearney are going to the Olympics. So
Yeah, I
that's
saw
what
that.
kind of, what they teach them over there and how good that course is and how they teach them hockey, and that's huge. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get a representative. We'll know this week if someone's going to come, and then we can do the proclamation for them.
Yes, wonderful.
Okay? Obviously, you do public input. So Diana, you do the financial, please?
In this report, I'm presenting a preliminary look at the 2025 financial results for the town as of December 31st. The 2025 books will not close until the end of February to allow for receipt and processing of outstanding commitments and to account for and properly book the remaining revenue that is owed to the town. Again, during the February and March town board meetings, I will present the most current 2025 preliminary results.
Bless you.
And the town's auditors from Bonadeo Group will present highlights of the audited 2025 financial statements and audit report upon completion of the audit work. The 2025 financial results as of December 31st. 100% of the year has elapsed and the town's total expenses are on par with budget at 100.2%, a sum of $45,401,000. Encumbrances are $915,000 and actual expenses total $44,486,000. The actual expenses alone equate to 98.2% of budget. Encumbrances are still an important part of the town's outstanding commitments. The general fund expenses are slightly higher than budget at 100.4%, or $28,666,000. Actual expenditures are 98.8% of budget, or $28,197,000, and 1.6%, or $469,000, remain for encumbrances. Overall, the expenses in the highway funds are higher than budget at 105.2%, a total of approximately $7,653,000. The costs in these funds result from considerable expenses for salt, gas, and paving as anticipated. Library expenditures are 99.4% of budget, a total of $2,953,000. Expenses in the sewer fund are $3,721,000 and are below budget at 88.4%. Stormwater drainage expenses are approximately 89.8% of budget, a total of $885,000. Regarding the entire town, revenue and appropriated fund balance of $41,739,000, or 95%, has been documented to date. The general fund has reported revenue of $25,717,000, or 93.2% of budget. Real estate tax of $13,010,000 has been collected. 114% of payment in lieu of tax revenue of $325,000 has been received. 8 months of sales tax revenue is in at $4,907,000, or 70% of budget. The aid and incentives to municipality payment of $613,000 has been received, and mortgage tax for 3/4 of $1,068,000 has been received. Additional revenue to be reported includes 6 months of franchise fees, 4 months of sales tax, and 3 months of mortgage tax. At month end, the library has confirmed revenue of $2,912,000, 100%. 93.4% or $6,721,000 of revenue has been recorded by the highway funds. 98.9% of sewer fund revenue of $3,907,000 has been verified. Stormwater drainage has received 98.9% of its budgeted revenue at $972,000. This concludes the preliminary financial report for December 2025.
Thank you, Diana. Any questions or discussion for Diana?
Thank you.
Okay, Diana, thank you. Okay, next up, we have obviously approval of minutes from the December 8th, 2026 workshop and the December 16th regular town board meeting minutes. We are going to have 4 public hearings that evening. The first one up is going to be the parcel combination. So Dan, if you'd just like to do an explanation, please, I appreciate it. Thank you.
The parcel combination is amendments to the local law, or bringing our local law into line with what the county requires. There was some confusion on some taxpayers of how many parcels that you could combine. The parcel combination, the way I understand it and what the county would prefer, is it be just, 2 parcels combined. So it's defining that the physical contiguous parcels must obviously be deeded to the same owner, must be in the same districts, towns, schools. Parcels must be free of encumbered mortgages, etc. Both parcels must have no outstanding zoning or building permit violations. Neither parcel is to have been in a subdivision. And then obviously the property taxes must be current.
Okay, any questions?
I have a question. Dan, let me understand this. So can more than one owner have, apply for more than one consolidation or not in a given year? Like, let's say I owned 4 different properties and I wanted to combine separately into 2 properties. Can one person do that, or only one per year, as per the county? Do you know the answer to that?
There are no limits for
Okay.
what this is called a courtesy merge.
Okay,
Okay, once again, but the requirements are that you're basically erasing a contiguous line between the parcels.
right. And I understand the reason, easier is for tax purposes. I'm wondering where this came from originally. Do you know?
It's for tax purposes. It does not change the legal definition of the 2 parcels. So you would be, by using this, eliminating having to get in a survey, a legal description of the combined properties. Also, you would, instead of paying the special districts on 2 parcels, would be paying it on 1 parcel.
So it is somewhat of a cost savings for the owner, correct? Somewhat of a cost savings for the owner, I guess?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I know my last house was a corner lot. It had 2 lots, both like 50 by 150. But I had to have them merge when I went to put a pool in, because my pool went across the property line, and you can't put a shed also on a property that doesn't have a primary residence, so people may want to go in and just merge the 2 lots together, and one was also taxed as vacant land, and that kind of just went away.
Okay, any other questions? All right, Dan, thank you.
Before you go, I want to recognize Brian Carl, the town attorney, and planning and zoning for working on this to at least get it to this point.
Okay, thank you. So noted. Our second one will be proposed local law to amend the historic preservation law of the town of Arundecoit. Bill, you just want to give us a quick on that one, please? Thank you.
Yeah, we redid the historic preservation law in the fall, and that was to comply with some state standards to get everything up to date. When we did that and looking at it with the town attorney, we wanted to make sure that it was clear that the Historic Preservation Commission is a referral and recommendation agency to the town board. So in the event there is a historic property designation, the town board would have the ultimate authority on designating said property as historic.
Okay, so what they'll do is they'll make a recommendation to the town board, and then we'll obviously discuss it amongst ourselves to allow it or not,
Yeah, we
Okay.
just wanted to provide that clarity because it was somewhat ambiguous before.
Okay, so the town board from now on will be making the decisions on that.
That's correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, but I'm glad to see that amendment being made.
Okay, thank you for the work on that as well, too. And then we're gonna have the next one is gonna be the Arundecoy procurement policy. Peter, you'd like to talk on that one, please? Thank you.
Sure. So, a number of years ago, the legislature amended Section 103 of the General Municipal Law to allow municipalities to use best value as another way of purchasing materials. And the only way a town can take advantage of that would be to pass a local law. So that's what we did. We also specified that, I think there was something in there about piggybacking as well. We also want to make sure that, to clarify that we could take full advantage of all of the piggybacking options that are also available to local governments. There is a provision in the paragraph 16 of 103 of the General Municipal Law allows for piggybacking on contracts basically all over the country as long as they meet certain criteria. So, and often best value is included in those type of contracts as well. So it's two significant amendments to our code to give a little bit greater flexibility, because oftentimes what I've heard from staff is that they want to take advantage of a consortium or piggybacking contract that was let using best value, but we weren't able to take advantage of it. So this will enable us to do that in the future.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, questions?
Peter, best value, explain that to me, could you? What is best value? Is it dollar for dollar? I'm just curious where that comes from. So they take the definition out of section, I think it's 163 of the state finance law. It's other ways to measure performance, let's say, but it still should be objective to the extent it can be. So right now, the default provision, for example, would be that you have to make a purchase, or when you make a purchase, you have to award the contract to the lowest responsible bidder. So this will allow for purchases that you could, make the purchase based on best value. And you still are required to make sure that the criteria is something that all the bidders can compete on. So for example, maybe you want to take cost of maintenance into account, or maybe you want to take, fuel mileage or something. And so when you compare those additional factors, you might not be buying the lowest, bid number. It might be something more expensive, but when you're looking at it in a best value context, it gives you a little bit greater flexibility. It's, the misnomer is that sometimes people think that the best value kind of gives you a blank check to just kind of buy whatever you want, and that's not the case. I believe our proposed amendment has a definition of best value in it that just basically takes it from the local finance law. I don't have a printout of it here, but so proposed section 51-12 includes a definition of best value, the basis of awarding contracts to the offerer which optimizes quality, cost, and efficiency among responsive and responsible offerers. And so non-price factors can be considered, basically. So that would also encompass responsible contractors that are doing the work, correct? And not so much as more materials.
Yeah, so I don't read this to include public works projects. There's some disagreement about that among municipal lawyers, but I have talked to the comptroller's office, and
The way I've encountered it, in other municipalities is more commodity-based, like if you wanted to build a restroom building, like in a park. And then there's other states that have negotiated contracts with vendors to build like prefabricated bathrooms, if you will. And then you can buy that off their state contract and then install it with a contractor, a local contractor. So, I mean, I believe that's how the restroom building came in at the Sandbar Park, and I know one came in a Grease Park, and then like even a pavilion, stuff like that, where the local contractors install them, but you buy them in essence, off of kits and things like that. So a lot of times what happens is then, you know, you can get, like, I only have 10 foot by 12 foot, you know, or you gear towards a size that you want exactly, rather than stick building it or building it in a field. And
So I guess, thinking about that for a minute, Peter, with the new law that, in New York State with the prefab law, I wonder if that's gonna affect us at all, if you're aware that what's going on in Albany with the
not fully,
prefab
no.
law.
Not fully.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, in the interim, though, we want to make sure that we can take advantage of what's in the statute now, because I think they amended it in 2012, and without providing for this in our code, we can't take advantage of best value.
Sure.
I
and
mean, I don't know if it exactly pertains to this too, but I would also see, like, if you have a fleet of vehicles that are all brand X, then you need another vehicle, and then it becomes the one vehicle that's brand Y. Wouldn't be necessarily best value for the town, because you have 100 brand X's, and now all of a sudden you have one brand Y. May not be the best value for the town, because now you have to stock different parts and things like that that are,
Even under current bidding, you might be able to purchase the brand X if you standardized on a particular brand, which is also permitted.
right. But
And you know, and Grant and Pete, you'll attest to this, that, you know, when you do construction contracts, it's lowest responsible bidder. I mean, I've seen contracts where we vetted people that didn't get the job,
That's exactly right, John.
you know what I mean? So that's something
Well,
we watch
that's-
out for.
very difficult to do.
Yes, it is.
Very.
You gotta really prove that they can't do the job, so.
They have to have like violations,
Yeah.
tax violations.
That's what I was just gonna say, because that's where
OSHA
some of them
violations
get bounced.
and, I mean,
That's the
almost
first thing
anything.
you look for, so. Okay, any other questions? All good? Thank you. Okay, the last one. Okay, oh, sure.
Final comment on that, that actually local law will be subject to a permissive referendum because it involves contracting under the municipal law.
Okay.
So, a little bit different than we normally do it.
Okay, and then last but not least, Pete, if you want to touch base on this, the small cell and microcell wireless communications facilities
Yep.
within the town of Arundequoit.
So a public hearing to decide whether or not we want to enact a moratorium on small cell and microcell wireless telecommunication facilities. The duration, I had a question about that earlier, the duration here is in section 5, and it proposed a moratorium for a year.
1 year from the approval of this
Yep.
resolution,
And
okay?
and in order to, so there is a variance and appeal procedure because you have to provide for that. in the moratorium.
And the reason being, I think, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but, I mean, our code kind of addresses cell towers. And these are not per se, although it's been permuted to be calling them towers, they're more pole-mounted can type, and we don't really have a good way of analyzing those as a permitting process. Try to get to the bottom of some of that as well as some of the finer details.
Right, so some of that, the current way that the code is enacted on that point, it allows for administrative review where, if, for example, the current version of the code would allow potentially a provider to come in, and if there's an existing pole, they can put it on the pole, and I think all they need is, I don't even know if they need a building permit. I mean, it doesn't require any discretionary approval by any board. It would be administrative review. So one of the things we want to look at is whether or not that's the right way to do it when it comes to these type of installations. And presently, it also, if it requires a new pole, it requires site plan review by the planning board. And so we're going to take a look at all that when it comes to the microcell and the small cell. These are the tower, they're not towers, they're pole mounted.
Right. 30 to 40 feet tall,
Yeah.
not like you would think of the
Right.
typical cell phone things, hundreds of feet tall, guy wires and buildings at the base.
And we had some issues recently where the applicant would come in and they didn't really have a complete application. We accepted it, and then they kind of, didn't provide us with everything we needed. And the issue was that there's, under the Telecommunications Act, we're under what's called like the shot clock. So we want to make sure that our code specifies, this is what we want before we consider an application complete. That's one of the things we'll look to change.
Yeah, I think I was just going to say, I think it's important that we really have the space and the time to take a look at this before, in case we get inundated, but really being able to have a little bit of much more understanding of where we are moving forward. So I think this is really important, just to kind of slow things down for a little while.
Yeah, and any other discussion? Aaron or Bill, anything on this? I appreciate, I'm not 100% sure, but thanks for the work on this as well, too, because this is a long time coming as well, too. So that'll be it for our public hearings. Like 4 of them's enough. Okay, so we'll get, talk about board action.
Okay, resolution authorizing the reappointment for the Board of Assessment Review in the town of Arundecoit.
Dan? This self-explanatory.
Yes, we've canvassed all the Board of Assessment Review members. There were a couple that their terms, there was one, excuse me, not a couple, that their terms had expired. They are wishing to be reappointed, and that is what this, it has to have a resolution.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, discussions? Okay.
Resolution authorizing the appointment of a cleaner in the Building Maintenance Department.
Jason?
Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to be hiring a cleaner full-time. This will bring us one short of full staff, and we'll be canvassing the custodian list again, see if we can get someone there. This person will be transferring from part-time to full-time, so we're happy they're doing a good job and welcome them aboard.
Right, okay, thank you. Any questions?
Just want to verify, Jason, it's permanent, so right now it's part-time, we're going to full-time, is that what I understand that?
Yes, but it's just filling a vacancy. So we had 2 vacancies, full-time vacancies. This will fill one of them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Good, okay, thank you.
Resolution authorizing the appointment of a senior motor equipment operator in the Department of Public Works.
Aaron?
So we had a promotion, and we did post for this position. The application deadline for this and the labor foreman coming up next were last Friday. We did review all the candidates, sent all the qualified candidates to Erin, and she and her staff are conducting interviews this week, I believe.
Okay, so this for the labor foreman as well, too, okay?
Yeah, this is for the next, we're both senior MEO as well as labor foreman. We're holding interviews this week, so we hope we'll have a name for you by the end of the week.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you. Any questions? Okay.
For the comptroller, resolution authorizing adjustment of the mileage reimbursement rate for 2026 to 67 cents, consistent with the rate allowed by the U.S. Internal Revenue Service.
Right, Diana, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Except it's 72.5
Yeah, it is
cents.
72
Yeah.
point, yeah,
That was my error.
72.5
Okay.
cents.
So this resolution would just authorize increasing the mileage rate to 72.5 cents per mile for employees using their personal vehicles for town business. It's always been the town's practice to follow the IRS standard rate for the personal vehicle usage.
So my office, standard operating procedures to round up to the nearest, because there's no fractional. Is that what we're doing here? Because there's no way, like, unless it's an even number, that it's an even dollar amount. It's going to be a fractional dollar.
When you multiply
So,
by the miles.
well,
so-
72.5, if you multiply it by, like,
Yeah,
an odd number, it's,
I think then you round up when it's, yeah.
you're going to encounter that.
Yeah.
We do have some pool vehicles
Yeah.
available that we try to have employees use, so using a personal vehicle is kind of a last resort for the employees. We do try to avoid the mileage.
So we need an amendment to this?
I think that's substituted resolution was.
Yeah, is it in the,
Yeah, I think it's on the website.
It's on the-
now.
yeah, it's on
she
there.
changed
Okay.
it this afternoon.
all right, so we're good, okay, very good.
Yeah, because
Diane.
like, if you drive 31 miles, it's $22.47.5 cents. we got away with got rid of pennies, now I have to come up with half
Are we
pennies?
getting rid of pennies?
It's your buddy, John.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Diana.
Okay, for the police, resolution authorizing to have stop signs erected on Party Road.
Okay, Chief?
Yes, this was in response to numerous speeding complaints. Pardee has no stop signs all the way from Norton to Empire Boulevard. We set out our speed signs, found that there were a lot of excessive speeding going down that road. So we looked at the road and tried to find the best spots to kind of, put at least two stop signs, northbound and southbound. One is right where there is a small little neighborhood park, so I thought that would be a logical place to actually place those. The other one, obviously, it's very tough with the hill coming all the way up Pardee Road, but by the time we get up to the top, we figured we'd put a stop sign right there, and it kind of splits the road into three separate sections, so it forces anybody coming up through the side streets and everything to at least catch one stop sign to try and slow their momentum.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any questions, discussions?
Just thank you for taking the time to do that, because I know the neighbors, I was getting lots of comments about that area, especially after the water main break. So, that whole area was really becoming congested, and the neighbors were really upset. As an aside, Aaron, today it just happened, I think Peter saw it too, I saw a comment. In that area, there was a stop sign that was knocked down. It was called in, and within an hour, staff was out there to put it back up, and there was a comment, thank you. So I just wanted to and it was in that area too, by actually one of the residents that had contacted me. So I told him I would pass that along. So thank you to your staff.
Yeah, Chief, thank you, and just comes to mind, I think on Seneca Road, it made a big difference as well too there. So the neighbors, they spoke up about speeding, police, the town addressed it, and we took it on too, so that'll be good. So there'll be two stop signs on Pardee, correct? Okay, and it made a big difference on Seneca Road too going forward. Okay, thank you.
Resolution authorizing the acceptance of a monetary gift from Janet Trageser to the Arundecoy Police Department K-9 unit.
Okay, Chief?
All set, sir? Yeah, again, another unsolicited donation. She showed up one day and wanted to just make a $50 donation to our K-9 unit, so happily accept it.
Okay.
Resolution, this is for Parks and Rec. Resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with vendors for the town's 2026 Winterfest celebration.
Janet, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. This resolution will allow us to move forward with several vendor contracts for the upcoming Winterfest, which is scheduled for Saturday, February 7th from 11 to 3 here at the Town Hall campus. So this particular resolution covers our alpacas, huskies, and the horse-drawn wagon rides that will be taking place that afternoon.
Okay, thank you. I was there at the meeting last week. Seems like things are organized, are going. The only thing, we need some cooperation from the weather.
I know, we need some snow.
It's up in the air.
Yeah,
We need a little
the weatherman to
cooperation.
help
But
us.
other than that, it seems like things are moving, and police and fire were there, and staff was there, and it seems like things are moving ahead, and your department is working hard to make a successful Winterfest. So thank you.
Thank you.
And you've also started pulsing it out too, so I saw it all over social media, so thank you for that too.
Thanks.
Resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into a contract with West Arundecoy Foundation for Cornhole Tournament.
Yes, this resolution, the West Arundecoy Foundation approached us. They host an annual cornhole tournament, which is a fundraiser for the foundation. They approached us in the fall and asked us if the community center could potentially be the venue to host the event, which is scheduled for Friday, March 13th. So we are looking to complete an agreement with them that would allow them to come in and utilize the community center for this event. We are still working out a couple of the pertinent details, but we will have everything lined up before the board meeting next Tuesday.
Okay, now, so we're gonna close the community center for this, correct?
Yes,
For the night.
we would close the center to the public that evening, yes.
Okay, that evening, okay. Peter, you got any comments on that?
So they'll compensate the town for the use of the facility and also staff time. And I think one of the things that we're waiting for, I saw another email today, but I didn't look at it closely, but I think we have insurance information now from our broker, and we're going to require them to provide
Okay.
proof of insurance and naming the town.
Okay,
Yes, we were able to add all of that information today, but unfortunately couldn't get it updated in the packet for you before this.
okay. That's
But we
fine.
do
So
have
we'll
it.
we'll look through it. Okay, very good. I know it's been a lot of work, but I guess, any questions, discussion on it?
No, I think the
Yeah.
district has done this for a number of years. I love that they've approached the town, and it is a big fundraiser for the foundation. And that money goes towards, teachers can write grants for special projects, and so they fund those projects. So it's for projects above and beyond what's in their yearly budget.
Okay, very good. Shannon, thanks for your work on this. Appreciate it. I know it's been a lot of work, so,
Thank you.
okay.
For the town clerk, resolution approving the special event license for Yellow Jacket Racing Fleet Feet Cupid's Cup 5K Run Walk. This is the 10th annual Cupid's Cup 5K Run on Sunday, February 15th, 2026, from 9 to 10:30 a.m. And they are all set as all has been approved.
Any discussion on that? No? Okay, I think we have that's it for our agenda. I believe upcoming meetings is workshops, February 9th, 2026 at 4 PM, and regular town board meeting is February 17th at 7 PM. I know that we have a resolution for board action.
Okay. Resolution authorizing the reappointment of the deputy supervisor for the town of Arundecoit.
Make a motion?
I'll move it.
Second, any discussion? Well, Pete, I know Pete's name's up for this, I appreciate it, because we had a turbulent year, Pete, and you were leading this, and I appreciate it, and keep you on as deputy, and thank you for all your hard work, and as well as the board together, too, on this.
Thank you,
Yeah.
assuming there's a successful vote.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah, you did, you did a great job last year, and so I think this is the likely choice.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I do abstain.
Yeah,
Yes.
Peter has to abstain on this one. So before we move forward, before I get going here, at the end of our resolution room, I'll mention that there are two resolutions we need added for the board, for board action for for this coming meeting. They'll be sent to the board for review by the end of the week. One resolution is authorizing the appointment of a bingo inspector for the town of Arundecoit. The other is approving the license for the American Red Cross to hold blood drives at the Arundecoit Town Hall campus, which includes a community center, okay? So those were supposed to be part of that too, so as well. I'd like to motion to enter the executive session to Public Officers Law 105-1F to discuss the employment of a particular person, so I need a motion to go into executive session. I got a
Second.
motion. Second, all approved?
Yep.
Motion carried, so we'll go into executive session. Staff, we're good. I'm sorry, but. Motion, to adjourn our workshop.
So moved.
I got a
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.